In this video, I'm going to talk about the operation of stacks. More formally, we can call this the definition of the stack ADT, or the stack abstract data type. So, a stack is basically something that operates in a particular manner when data is given it and returns the data in a particular order. So, let's suppose that we have some piece of data in our stack. Let's label that piece of data A. We can push that piece of data into the empty stack so that we now have a stack containing A. We can pop off that A so that we get it back. We can add another piece of data, add B, and when we add B, it is pushed on top of A. If we were to add another datum like C, it would be pushed on top of B. And then, if we want to get something from the stack, we ask it to pop off an item, and it will pop off the top item, which in this case is C, leaving B as the next item that is available. If we ask it to pop off another item, it will pop off B, leaving A as the available item. So, the analogy here, a possible analogy, is to think of a stack of trays in a cafeteria. If I have a stack of trays in a cafeteria, when I put some, suppose that this is the top tray in the cafeteria stack of trays, if I put another tray on the stack, then the prior top tray will go down and make space for this tray to be on top now. And then I could put another thing on top of that, which would cause both of these to go down. But when I'm getting a tray off, I can only get the top tray off easily. And whenever I add a tray, I can only add trays to the top. And so this is the idea of a stack. It is a data structure where the last thing that was inserted in is the first thing that can be retrieved out or will be retrieved out. We call this the LIFO discipline, or last in is the first out. So stacks are LIFO, meaning the last thing that is pushed in is the first thing that will be popped out. So there are several operations that the stack ADT contains. Push is the operation for adding an item. So suppose that I add an item labeled B to this. I would push it onto the top, and conceptually we can think for our cafeteria trays that the entire stack got pushed down, and now B is at the same height A was at before. I can't do that easily on the board, so I won't try to. I can pop an item off. When I pop an item off, that gives me back the top item. So if I ask the stack to pop off an item, it will give me back that B, and A will be the only item that is remaining. I can also ask the stack how many items are in it. In this case, that's one item. I can ask the stack if it is empty, which in this case will return false. If I have a stack of no items, an empty stack might look like that, the way I've been drawing, in which case is empty would return true, size would return 0, and popping would cause an exception. So the pop operation is invalid on an empty stack because there is nothing to remove. Then in our book, they also implement two optional operations. The first of those is peek. These are all operations in the stack ADT, or abstract data type. What the peek operation does, let's suppose I have a stack with A and B in it. So first A was pushed on and then B was pushed on. The peek operation will tell me that what the thing at the top of the stack looks like without actually taking it off. And so the peek is equivalent to doing a pop off of B to take B off, and then pushing that same thing back on after you look at it. So peek just allows you to see the top tray in the stack of cafeteria trays without actually removing it. And then let's see, one other optional operation that our book uses is two-string, which allows us to easily form a string representation of the stack. So the two-string representation of this stack would show all of the items in the stack in a linear order. Let me do one other quick analogy. So let's suppose that I was creating a pile or stack of DVDs for my cat to watch. I neither have a cat, nor if I had a cat, would I have it entertain itself by watching DVDs. But let's suppose that I did. And let's suppose that the first DVD that I got was Adventures. And rather than having the cat watch that yet, I then bought another DVD, which was Bobcats. Then I place it on top, or I push it on, just like I pushed Adventures on. Now the first video for the cat to watch, if we were to pop a video off for it to watch, would be Bobcats. And then I buy another video called Cows. Well, when I push it on the top of the stack, it goes on above all the others so that it'll be the one that'll be watched first. So Cows. And then I decide I've bought plenty of DVDs for my cat, and I pop one off the stack and put it in the DVD player and put it on repeat so the cat watches it over and over again, and over the cat can watch the cows placidly chewing their cud and eating the grass, and presumably have a very peaceful day. And it would be nice if my work day were similarly peaceful for most of us. So I pop off the cows DVD, which leave Bobcats as the next DVD for the cat to watch. Then let's suppose that I decide that the cat probably wants something more interesting to watch. So I buy a Dogs DVD and I put it on the top of the pile. So I push on the Dogs DVD. And then when I leave the next day, I take that DVD off the top, I pop it off and put it in the DVD player for the cat to watch over and over again, and have a more interesting, if possibly more stressful day. And so I popped off Dogs and put that in the DVD player for the cat to watch. And then I might decide, well, let's get something that's kind of in between. So I go and buy a video about elephants, and I push that video on the top of the stack. So I push on elephants, and then when I leave the next day, I take the DVD off the top of the stack, pop off the DVD on the top of the stack, which in this case is elephants, and put that in the DVD player, and my cat watches elephants do whatever it is elephants do all day while I go off and work. So pop off elephants, and then if I haven't bought any more videos and push them on, the video that I would pop off the next day for my cat to watch is Bobcats, and the next day I would pop off Adventures, and then Is Empty would be true, and my cat would have no more new DVDs to watch, and we would have to figure out what to do with a bored cat, probably allow it to sleep. So the stack is an ADT that defines the behavior of a collection that allows objects to be entered, to be added and removed in a last in, first out manner. So you cannot choose which thing on the stack to take out. You can only take out the last thing that was placed in. So the last thing to be put in is the first thing to be taken out. So in this case, Bobcats is remaining because Bobcats was put in more recently than Adventures, and Cows and Dogs and Elephants have already been popped off. So then, a stack is a collection that allows you to add items and take back off items from the same side that you have added them, thereby behaving in a LIFO, or last in, first out manner.